Yo, what's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video talking about something that's going around the internet. Everyone's talking about it, and is the new bill being introduced or being debated in the House right now, which is a $2,000 per month stimulus check. And there's a bunch of little things like eligibility and what the bill is actually going to try and be doing that we're going to be talking about in this video, and give a little bit of my thoughts on it near the end of the video. So I just want to hop right into it. We've seen this is another illness help act. It is meant to try and help people get through these tough times, and maybe some people that are struggling financially to try and help them out. So the qualification or eligibility for this $2,000 a month check are pretty straightforward and pretty easy to just break down. Basically, it'd be every American 16 years or older who is earning less than $130,000 a year filing single, or it's like $240,000 a year filing jointly or married. That would be the minimum, the maximum amount. If you earn less than that, then you would be eligible for this stimulus check of $2,000 per month, and it would give you, on top of that would be $500 per month per child, up to $1,500 per month. And the benefits of this would be reduced by $50 per month for every $1,000 above that said threshold. So for every $1,000 above $130,000 would be $50 less you'd get a month. Puts you at $170,000 filing single would result in you not getting a check, and $340,000 filing married or joint would receive nothing as well. So the idea of this bill is to kind of give people money for 6 months. It's talked about. It's a bill that, if it was passed, and it's nowhere near being passed yet, but if it was to be passed, it would go for 6 months, a 6 month period. And at the end of those 6 months, it would be voted on again to be decided whether or not it is a bill that they're going to do another 6 months on, and then it would be voted on again at that point. And from what I've seen is that the stimulus check would stay in contact and keep going out to people as long as 60%, less than 60% of the country is working. Once that number reaches 60% or goes over 60, then the checks would stop. I've seen people talk about that. I'm not 100% sure on that position because I haven't seen everyone say that, but I have seen it. So I think that maybe it would be kind of worthwhile. 60% is kind of a random number. I don't know why they would pick that, but I think we're under that number now. I think we're at 50-something%. So this bill, like I said, is nowhere near becoming a law and coming into reality of getting people these $2,000 a month checks. Basically, it has to go through its own process, in which case it would start where it is right now, with getting voted on by the House of Representatives and debated, which is the process it's in right now. They're debating it, they're going to vote on it, pick the language and stuff, and then once they vote on it and pass it in the House, it would move to the Senate, where they would discuss it again, change some things around, draft a final copy of the bill, and vote on it there. And then if it passes the Senate, it would go to the president, who would have to sign it. And if he signs it, it becomes a law. If he vetoes it, then it's going to go back to the Senate, where they would need a 2/3 majority to pass it. In which case, if they come up with a 2/3 majority, it overrides the president vetoing it and becomes law, and then everyone gets their free money. So with this bill being talked about the way it is and everything going on, I think everybody likes free money, but this is going to be a super, super expensive bill when you just look at the numbers. Going off of, the bill itself, the criteria for it would put about 90% of Americans would be eligible for this number. After you adjust the population, it's about 330 million Americans in the U.S., obviously. And if you adjust that number for people who are eligible, people who are older than 16 or older, and then exclude people who aren't eligible, you come around with about 244 million people who would qualify for this stimulus check. And when you take 244 million times the $2,000 per month, you would get $488 billion it would cost per month to run this program or bill, whatever you want to call it, which puts it at a 6-month cost because they come in 6-month periods. So if it passes, the 6-month cost would be $2.6 trillion, which is more than the CARES Act bill, which has already gone into effect and has already been used up, and the money has gone to where it's supposed to go and everything. But it is well higher than the CARES Act, and that is just for the 6 months. If it passes again, you're looking at doubling that, so looking at closer to $6 trillion, which is a lot of money. Guys, I just want to wrap up this, the bill. We got it, the 2Ks, eligibility and qualifications for this bill. Thoughts on it. It's still nowhere near a law and how it's going to become a law. I think at the earliest we see this, people have been talking about around June. If everything goes sailing and smoothly and we just don't have any hiccups in the road, we would probably be looking at June for the start of this kind of $2,000 stimulus check per month, and then the 6-month period from there, and revoting at the end of that. But I just want to give a couple of my opinions on this bill and what I think about it and how I think it could have its effects and stuff. So trying not to get political or anything, but we're just going to talk about this bill and what I think is a couple things about it. So the first thing and big thing that I want to focus on with bills like this and stuff is, yes, this helps everybody and it doesn't qualify straight for like unemployment like the CARES Act did. I would like to see more kind of help for people who are working during this and through this and maybe putting themselves in harm's way or whatever, in the illness's way, because they're going to work, and now that people are making less money but still going to work and still having the risk of contracting this would be, I'd like to see more help towards those people instead of more help towards people who are unemployed or claiming unemployment. I don't think you should make more money off of being unemployed than being employed. That doesn't make any sense. I'm all for helping people and helping people get through this and giving a little bit more of a benefit to everybody and not giving more benefit to like unemployment and stuff. I just don't see it really helping everyone when the goal would be to be unemployed instead of being employed. I don't think that makes good sense for a good society and stuff. So hopefully we can figure that out. Hopefully they figure that out a little bit. I think it's up to companies of giving like hazard pay and stuff. So companies are making those decisions. But I'd like to see something, maybe if we're going to focus on helping people, help everybody by all means, but try and help like the same way you're helping unemployment, help the people who are employed, who are working less hours but still at full risk instead of the people who are at lower risk because they're staying at home. And another thing with this bill, just looking at the numbers of $130,000 a year. If you make $130,000 a year filing singly, and you qualify for this bill or for this $2,000 a month, if you haven't had any impacts on your business because of this illness, then do you really need the money? Do you really need that $2,000 a month if you're still making your full $130,000 a month? I think we're playing kind of a dangerous game with inflation. I don't think we're at super dangerous levels with the CARES Act of inflation, but with this, if we continue this on for too long, we could really rack up some debt and inflation, and then I don't think we want to go down this road. But looking at the numbers, if you're making $130,000, do you really need it? If your business was impacted and you made that last year, but now you're on track for less, then by all means, maybe you do need it. But if you are making the same amount or more and your business hasn't been impacted, do you really need it? Is like the big question I'm asking myself. As well as couples with 200, I don't know the number exactly, but it's over 200,000. It's like 230, 240,000. If you're making that and still on track to make that and your business hasn't been affected, do you really need $2,000 a month? I just don't know if I fully see that as a necessity if your business has been impacted and you're making that much money. And then we can all wrap it back to, this is free money at the end of the day, and everybody would like that, and everybody loves just taking free money. but I don't think we can incentivize free money over people who are working. Like, I think if you're on unemployment and this passes and these two go together, you could be making like $4,200 a month, like minimum, which is just kind of crazy to think you can sit at home on unemployment and do nothing and make more money than someone who has to go to work and risk getting sick and doing all this stuff, reduced hours and less pay maybe, and not being able to reap the benefits of unemployment. I just don't think that we should incentivize it that way. But I guess we're going to see where this goes. This is still super far from law and from anything. It's in the literal infancy stages, this bill. But let me know what you guys think. How do you think this would go down? How do you like the numbers in the bill, qualifications, all that kind of stuff? And guys, don't forget to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.